Hi guys, welcome to Rinkside. I'm Gracie Gold, and I will soon be joined by my co-host, Jean-Luc Baker, and we're here today to talk about the men's practice groups. This is the first time that the men are practicing in the arena. All of their other practices have been at the practice rink off-site. The one and only practice they have before the event tonight. I'm really excited for this men's event. I think it should be really, really good.
You were burning like a summer in my heart till you found another northern star, following a lover right out of my ocean. And I was broken, but you know what they say, time's got a good way of healing. I'm back on my feet and I'm happier than ever, like I never thought forever was you.
Competitors, there is 1 minute remaining in the warm-up. After the warm-up, music will be played, beginning with the short program for Jacob Sanchez, followed by the short program for Beck Strommer. Competitors, the warm-up is ended. Our first skater, skating the short program, is Jacob Sanchez.
is undefeated internationally as a junior this season. Definitely looking for a spot on that junior world team.
Time on the music, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. Skating next, Beck Strommer skates the short program, to be followed by Taira Shinohara skating the short program. Time on the music, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Skating next is Taira Shinohara skating the short program.
Hello, everybody. Jean-Luc
Goku,
Baker
Endo,
here. I had a little bit of a
short
transportation issue, but we ran across the concourse, so my apologies if I am out of breath. Gracie is next to me. Thank you so much for being here with me, Gracie. Or, well, holding the show. I appreciate it.
No, it was my pleasure. Just been watching some skating.
That's great. I'm ready. I know this practice has just started, but I have to say I think I might be sweating more than all of the boys out there right now.
Yeah, the cardio's not good. Okay.
No. It's okay though.
Anytime she goes away.
For your event, were you a type of person that did full run-throughs or mark-throughs of jumps, or is it more just determining like what number you skated in that group, or?
Well, when I was working with Frank, it was only full run-throughs.
Oh, okay. Wow.
In practice, at an event, did not matter.
Oh.
Yep, start to finish, all spins, all jumps. There were maybe 2 exceptions to that where maybe there's one event that it was so unbelievably early, I was allowed to maybe just, and I was skating first, and But he wouldn't have considered that a run through.
Okay.
That was just skating around. That was
And
a frame policy. He only had really one rule when you worked with him. Well, there were three main ones. Show up on time, look presentable, and when your program starts, when the music starts, you finish the program.
Oh, cool.
That was,
The
those
three.
were his only three rules. Really, everything else was fine. And one time, Lucius gave a dice work on me.
Yeah.
One time, I remember he had left out a spin.
Yeah.
He had messed up his combination, went to do the spin, and just gave up.
Yeah.
And then it was Dennis, 10 on the ice, Farley, myself, I think Scott, even Evan might have been out there, and we all just stopped and stilled because we're like, you can't do that.
That's not allowed.
I didn't know that was an option. But I was also, I prefer to try run-throughs that had everything in them, as opposed to doing a run-through where you mark and skate through all the jumps, because I felt, if you pull in on a jump that are bad, you warmed it up regardless, as opposed to when you just walk through a skate or do singles. It's not like really warming up, so especially if this is your only time in the arena.
2 minutes, 51
Obviously skating
seconds.
first,
Yeah.
a little bit of a challenge, but I feel more warmed up. Like I've at least done most, if not all of a run through, as opposed to just a choreographic run through. I still don't feel like I really felt what the program's going to feel like in the arena.
Mm-hmm. Throughout the week when I've been on this thing, talking to everybody,
On this thing?
On this thing, yeah, it's pretty chill up here. Like people were asking me what I had for lunch the other day. I was answering that. I had a burrito. Don't worry, I had a great breakfast this morning. Everyone, for everyone that wants to know.
What do you mean people were asking?
Because on Twitter, like you can send anything and ask us questions.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll throw that on the screen in a minute, but you can send us anything you got at US Figure Skating on X. Please, any questions, anything you got, we'll try to give our best to talk about it. But yeah, it's quite fun. This skater, so I was rinkside in the practice rink, which really was rinkside. I was down on the ice, and he is a tall man. I was talking quite a bit about how I would love to see him really put a little bit more emphasis on the stretch, even though he is so big. I wish that he would put a little bit more energy into extending through his fingers and his movements, because it would just make them amplify that much more. I think there's a little bit of a nonchalantness through the extensions. He's hitting an 80% range, which I understand there's a jump content about to be done, but I think you and I both can agree that every step does count.
Yeah, and especially at this point in the season with a program he's been training this long, that can be, it is that time to have some of those details worked out. Yeah, he is tall. When I saw him at Champs Camp, I was surprised as well. And he was in skates and I was not, and I thought,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Yeah, I broke my neck looking up.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It's not a tall sport, really.
That's it. And on the screen, you can send your questions to us at US Figure Skating on X. I'm going to be doing my best just to swipe through those, see what we got, see if there's anything fun to answer.
And just some of these connecting steps, obviously it is triple edge, triple toe. But, it's a full... That's kind of what brings it to the next level. That's why skating's hard, right? I would like to see... Yeah, again, it was a little too nonchalant as he just skated through crossover, mohawk.
Yeah.
And because he does have that extension and those long lines available to him, you sound a little jealous.
I'm not lying. That was something I had to work so much on in my career because I was so much shorter. Yeah.
Sorry, there's some strangers in the crowd talking to me.
It was something in my career that I did have to really work on because I was of the shorter stature, or am, I should say. So trying to look as big as I could on the ice when it's with Chalk Bates or Hubble Donahue or Shibatani, all of those boys they're 6-something, and I'm 5-something, and 5-something on the lower side of 5-something. 5'6" is pretty much where I'm at. 5'7" on ISU bio. 5'6" in reality.
Same.
Nice. Okay, that's great, everybody. Love that. So, yeah, please send your questions our way.
I'm also 5'7"
49
on ICU.
Okay, nice. I think, as you talked about, though, like that commitment, you start to see it, which takes you to the next level, and you see it from a skater like Camden, Pulkinen, or Andrew Torgashev, or obviously Ilia is really pushing that performance side, particularly this year. And I think that's that next tier, not just having the content or having that ability to do the technical side of things, but how do you make everything in between look also seamless, and that's how you captivate your audience.
Skating next, Maxim Naumov.
On this
skating
practice,
the short
Beck does a
program.
really good job of that. He skated second. His component mark and his artistry is pointed for her to see
Time on the
60
music,
come up.
2 minutes, 52 seconds.
I haven't checked her protocol
There are
yet
about
to
11
see
minutes
where
remaining in this practice session.
they got her. She does struggle with some under rotations on and off, but she's also very capable of doing clean
Competitors,
jumps. And,
if we've mispronounced your name, please notify
you
the
know,
announcer.
she did triple edge, triple toe, double axel, and triple flip. Not perfect on the flip, but there were people that fell on under rotated. Like, there were just some other messes that scored much higher, and to only get a 60 with that, I was really, really shocked by that. But I thought Brady was also phenomenal. And although Amber didn't have a perfect skate, I feel that you could tell that she's been training and working so hard with that loop, because to have mistakes on your first two jumping passes going into that last one is, as the reigning champion, what I don't wish that on anyone. But I was not nervous for her loop at all. It's such a good jump for her, and she's been training so hard.
I mean, she's such a warrior as a competitor as well, and I am so excited to see what she delivers in that free skate.
I really liked Brady as well. I thought she was... The speed that she had from the beginning of the program through the ends, and I thought the quality of her triple edge triple toe... Love. I mean, I thought it was really good. I thought that she would be closer to Alyssa than she was. But yeah, Alyssa was magic. Absolutely. And that's just one of those magic skates that
like
just gives you chills.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones that you just love the most. We got another question in here. Random off-topic one. Do you think Skate America is going to move venues or keep it in Texas again? I mean, that is such a great question, and I'm sure that U.S. Figure Skating definitely has the answer, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think either of us do. So, I don't know.
Doesn't it? I guess it would move.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it when it was in Boston. That was a really fun event. I thought the arena was so welcoming, and honestly, it was so cool because it was full for the most part. I love skating in full arenas. I know it's a smaller arena, but sometimes it's so nice when you just step out onto the ice and you see it being full.
I'd like to see it back in Chicago.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think having Grand Prix where there are a lot of skaters in the Chicagoland area makes a lot of sense. I think to Gen Pop, a Grand Prix skating event they'd be like, oh, what is that? As opposed to U.S. Nationals.
Yeah, exactly.
Or U.S. Championships. Which people might come because they think, oh, it's the Nationals for ice skating. But for Skate America, Chicagoland in the Midwest, I feel like always turns up.
So Corinne Skates asks us, anything fun you've been doing in Wichita besides watching and skating? Commentating about skating? Watching and talking?
I've been watching skating, talking about skating. I was here 2 weekends ago for PR ahead of this,
cool.
And there is a place here called Chicken Coop or something like this.
Okay.
It's indoor pickleball, and there's also a bar and restaurant, and then they have a pop-up ice rink, and then they also have outdoor courts.
Was that part of the PR?
There was a day off with the way my schedule turned out is that I'd work on Saturday and then work on Monday.
Oh, very fun.
So Sunday was off, so we went to pickleball.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was pretty awesome.
That's fair. I mean, like, that wasn't this time around, but it was 2 weeks ago, so I say it counts. It's this year.
Yeah, I mean, to go to Wichita, I feel like, like alternate weekends, I feel like it counts, but I was thinking of going back tomorrow.
Oh,
you just drop in, and for $1 extra, you get to keep the ball.
Oh, okay. For sure. That's cool. Going back to Montreal with a bunch of pickleballs in my suitcase then, won't I?
For those of you that are into that.
I'm sure my dog will love it.
It was very intense, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Did you know that there's a huge percentage of a huge percentage of the top pickleball players in the world are from Wichita?
You're kidding
and live in
me.
Wichita?
You're kidding. We're going to go there.
The CEO of Visit Wichita told me this. So I do trust this information. I did not make this up.
Okay.
And I also thought it was such a novelty fun fact about Wichita.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's good to know. I mean, we can go down and throw down.
There's a very competitive pickleball thing going on in Wichita.
I want to take Brandon.
Oh,
Brandon Fraser should go.
We have to go.
That'd be so fun. All right.
But when we went, it wasn't. People had visors, but we were inside.
Oh, they were like ready to rumble.
They had custom bags.
Okay.
It was.
I mean, they probably say the same thing about us. We have like full costumes made and custom skates, and I got custom blades on my thing. So
we were the only court that was hitting balls into other people's courts.
Oh,
we
okay.
But it was advertised are supposed to be fun. Like the drop-in ice rink wasn't for professional skating, right?
True.
It was very intense though, but very fun. There's axe throwing across the across from here.
There's an axe throwing. That sounds fun.
Oh yeah, it's next to the arena.
Okay. So I didn't do anything fun like that yet. I went to a nice dinner and then I slept some because I was trying to catch up on some sleep. You know, hosting these Rinkside chats, per se, the Rinkside cam has been so much fun, but I have to be honest, without the audience members sending their questions to me on Twitter, quite often I was just talking blankly into space, and it's a lot of fun when I have someone with me here, or I guess in your case when you have someone with you, because I showed up late. But yes.
The questions are fun.
Yeah, they're fun, right? I actually really enjoy them. Oh, this is a great question. What's your favorite jump combo performed by your favorite skaters? Oh, that's like a loaded question. My favorite jump combo performed by my favorite skaters. Ooh. Sophia, great question.
I don't think I've ever been asked that before.
No, exactly, right? This is just stumping me. I just hit a speed bump. My favorite jumping combo, well, let me think of which one. It's a good starting point. You could say Twizzle set might be a little easier for me, but I'll lean into it. Let's lean into it. I love a good Nathan Chen quad Lutz. That's because he's one of my best friends. But
that's a jump. It's just asking for a combination.
Yeah, well, okay, then throw another one onto it.
Okay, and what would that be? This is a test.
Oh, no.
You know what? Name a jump combination.
Me? Get out of here.
Okay, well, name it.
No.
Name one.
No. One.
Quad Lutz.
Can you go Lutz toe?
Yeah. Do you know that we've actually seen those out here today?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I have. Get out of here, Gracie. Nice try.
Let's toe. Can you do that one?
Yeah. I mean, can you?
That was like my big combination.
Fair enough.
It's probably my. If somebody answered this question about me, they would say let's toe or double axel, triple toe. Double axel, triple toe is my jam.
You love that one, huh?
Oh, all day.
What do you think of these heel like levels for the spins when they're going on the heel or the toe?
Oh, like the blade variations?
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
Have you ever tried one? Intentionally?
A little bit. Sonia, Amber, and I skate a lot of the same sessions in Colorado, and Sonia just does cool stuff all the time. Right, so especially with her spins, and she is such a good spinner because she spends one of her sessions every day is devoted to spins, like every day.
Wow.
And at the end of every session, she does all of her spins for like 10 minutes, just trying new things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you see her, I mean, she can butterfly the other way. She does a flying sit the other way.
Okay.
It's crazy. Like it's so wild, but we were trying some blade variations. She was trying to go up on her toe in a sit spin.
Actually, you know what? Jackie and I saw that on one of their practices here. It was amazing.
Yeah, because most people do it on camel.
Right.
And of course, Sonia's like, well, let me
do it on a sit.
Yeah, let me raise you and go on a sit and up on her toe. It is so hard on your calf to do.
Yeah, well, that's what Jackie and I were trying to practice up here. I was like trying to put a little bit more weight on my toe, and you know what? Even supported with the seat, I don't think my shin, my calf, or nothing in my leg liked it. So props to her for even attempting it. As you can see on the screen, visit wichita.com. Check it on out.
There is 1 minute remaining in this practice session. If we have mispronounced your names,
but I like the change up in variations because there is something to be said about a lot of people will have the same spins because a lot of the when you're combining spins to make a level 4, there's certain combinations that just make more sense. But, especially in the junior women, more than any of the other junior events especially, they probably had the widest variety of unique spins. Like, it wasn't, especially in the short, when you see the same flying camel and the same layback, you'll see some different combo spins, but even their camel spins, their flying camel had some variation, and that's, I think, one of the harder ones to get a level 4 in a way that's interesting.
Right.
The kind of stag hop jump out is not my favorite of all of them, but I think the heel thing is cool when it's done well. But Sonia on the toe is very novelty.
It is really cool. And speaking of the topic of spins, B, Towns of Paper is their tag. I noticed men in general tend to struggle more with getting all their levels on spins. Can you explain the difficulty involved with spins and specifically in getting all 4 levels?
Samuel Mindra, Camden Pulkinen, Andrew Torgashev, Tomoki Hiwatashi.
I mean, do you feel
just
like
explain
the men?
And Kai Kovar.
Explain spins or explain why men?
I think the question's more directed as we're watching the men's event right now. These men's practice. I think it's more directed to them. Is it a matter
men
of
don't work on spins.
They don't do the spins as much.
No, women spin more, I would say.
They just like train them more.
Especially growing up, I feel I grew up skating in Chicago. One of the rinks that I trained at had a lot of guy skaters for whatever reason, and I don't know if I ever saw them spin.
Okay.
Because they just jump all the time, which suited me because I didn't really like spinning either. And especially when younger, it's just the push. I don't.
So you think it's just more just at a younger age that the emphasis isn't as like reinforced?
Spins are heavily about practice.
Yeah.
I do not think that you have to be particularly talented at skating to be a good spinner.
Okay.
Granted, it's very helpful because things like balance and understanding how to use physics to your advantage, those things are teachable.
Yeah.
As I think you have to have a certain level of talent and athleticism to do a triple Lutz, to do quads, to do triple axel. For spins, not as much. Everyone can learn to be a good spinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavily practice related, but practicing spins is not as interesting as practicing jumps.
Mm-hmm. There's not as much gratification from it.
And it just seems less interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Especially when you're younger. Learning a camel spin sucks.
Yeah,
no
it's
one
kinda
likes
boring.
it. It's super dry. It's uninteresting.
Cool.
But
I think that
I understand some flexibility, but you don't have to do a Beelman to get a level 4. And if you are doing quads, you should have enough mobility to do a sit spin.
Now, we got the second group on the ice right now. Some skaters on here I know I'm very excited to see. Camden Pulkinen yesterday just absolutely shredding on his practice. It was so cool, so committed to his performance. Andrew Torgashev is here now. We're going to see him be performing today. A lot of the other skaters out here, Samuel Mindra, Tomoki, Hiwatashi. We got Liam Kapeikis and Kai, I believe.
Kai Kovar. His sister competed in junior pairs.
Oh, very cool. A little tidbit on that one. But yeah, we got some really good skating coming out here. I mean, throughout the whole day, we absolutely will, but there's some heavy hitters out here. I'm really excited to see what they deliver. Ooh, for Gracie and Jean-Luc, when you were younger skaters, novice and junior, who were your skating idols / role models? Skating idols. Novice and junior, I mean, like, I think for me, for sure, whenever I came to a U.S. National Championships as a novice skater back in the day, I think that anytime I saw anyone in the championship event, like as a senior skater, I was like, oh my God, they're in senior. Like, oh my God. Like, whoa, that's crazy. That's like insane. They're so good.
Whoa, they could go to the Olympics.
They could, like,
Whoa.
yeah, and then you see someone who was on the Olympic team, you're like, oh my gosh, they were at the Olympics. Like, I hope I go. So, I mean, to give you names, I mean, I think, like, when you'd see Evan Lysacek walking around, like, you trained with him, but I think for me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. Or a Jeremy Abbott. I mean, if we're referencing any of the championship men's event, but Marilyn Charlie. There's so many. There's just so many amazing skaters that are still skating or not skating anymore. I mean, Madison Chalk with Greg Zerline, Evan Bates with Emily Samuelson at the time. I mean, both of them were phenomenal ice dancers as well. It's what about you?
Growing up, I didn't watch a lot of ice dance.
That's fair.
Gotta be honest.
No, I like the transparency.
Was not my vibe at the time.
Competitors, 1 minute remaining.
Obviously, post Michelle Kwan era, she was what you were looking for, and also just that level of success and elegance and consistency. A lot of the things that, especially in my youth, I didn't have. Alyssa Sisney as well.
Yeah, I mean, she was so good.
Yeah, and fun fact, I actually landed my triple toe in a lesson with Alyssa Sisney when she came to Springfield, Illinois to do the club show. And I landed my triple toe with her for the first time.
Okay. Oh. Samuel Mindra with a beautiful Ina Bauer there. It's not zoomed in on that screen, but you saw it come right in front of the judges.
Also, Yuna Kim and Mawasada,
Yeah.
very much dominating at that time.
100%.
Competitors, the warm-up has ended. Skating first, skating the short program, is Camden Pulkinen.
luckily when I was always with Caitlin, like I had someone else to kind of bounce off of or like aim my attention towards. And I think that like Brandon is a really good anchor for Andrew Torgashev when it comes to these types of events, allowing him to just recognize that he has a really safe person on the other side of that wall. All the fans, everybody in here, we appreciate you all so much, but you can only allow so many people in when it comes to the intensity of these performances.
Well, it's also the noise in your own head.
Yes.
There's no one there to bounce that off of or to anchor you while you're literally on the ice.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Brandon is really unfazed by crazy or insanity or anything like that. You could really throw...
It's so true.
Yeah, he speaks the language of insanity really well. There's nothing that can really faze him. So you can hit him with just about anything. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
he does the
That's
closed
it.
mouth little smile, like
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's figure out the problem.
Very much like a white person smile of the like with the head nod.
Mhm.
It's like, okay. Well,
Let's solve it. So yeah, I think that it's going to be really exciting to see what Andrew delivers here, and already just again another skater that when he like lets it rip, it's so cool.
and he's just been hitting it all season. Where he was second and fourth in his Grand Prix, like first or second alternate for the Grand Prix final. I always felt that he was the forgotten child in some ways of U.S. figure skating. And I understand he's had injuries, he's been off and on. Hasn't been able to really build and be consistently successful. But to me, just the amount of talent he has, I can't believe that has so much just been on the radar.
Yeah.
When I saw him earlier this year, I thought, oh, why is no one talking about this?
Also somebody that is very reserved, like as a person. He's very quiet to himself, does his thing, and it's so cool to just see him come here and like throw down. You can even see on this practice he's just in his own world, like in the best way possible, keeping to himself. Speaking of like friendships, someone asked, the Tabby Whisperer, can you talk a little bit about friendships in skating? Is it hard to be friends with someone and you're also rivals? Or are you able to put that aside? Is it easier to make friends in a different discipline? Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, like for me, I never really had a hard time being friends with any of my competitors. I really enjoyed the companionship just across the board. I used to joke around in the locker room with all the guys right before we'd get on and just be like, well, at least we're all doing it together, because I'd be terrified. Like shaking, literally, my hands would be trembling in the boots. Like, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it was so easy. Like, every time I'd be lacing up my skates and be like, why do I do this? Like, you know, I mean, people would be like, oh, you can't say that. No, absolutely. Like, why? I always used to ask myself that, and then I'd step out on the ice and always remember, like, oh, yeah, this is why. Like, this is why I do this. But I think that when it comes to friends, like, within the sport, I think, for me, I never had a hard time at all with being friends with people in my discipline and separating the competitive side and friendship side. You?
Skating next is Tomoki Hiwatashi.
You can absolutely have
skating
friends
short
in your
program,
discipline.
to be
I
followed
certainly,
by Liam
I
Kapeikis
watched the women
skating
yesterday,
short
large
program.
chunks of it with Polina and Ashley Kane. And I competed novice with Ashley Kane. I think that was our first season together competitively, and obviously Polina. I think it also depends on how much crossover you have. So there are people that, like really high level, that I still don't even know nearly as well as others, because we just never had any of the same events, or if I had an off year, they had a good year, or just through different Olympic cycles, they were on, I was off, or I was on, they were off, and I just didn't have a lot of crossover with them, because if you don't have any senior Bs or any Grand Prix together, and if one of you, or four continents, worlds, you know, but then there's some people that you have every single event with, and it's so easy to become friends.
Watching this program earlier in the week, actually yesterday, literally yesterday, I just like wish after seeing it at Champs Camp, and it's something that I still think that he could have leaned into a little bit more, was letting that abandonment go a little bit. And I think that his body movements do project it for the most part when he's moving, but it's like the belief within the form, like the expression. I don't feel like there's much facial engagement within his performance, and like for the skill set that Tomoki does have and the people that he wants to be competing with, I really do believe that if you want to be in that group, if you want to be with those top tier of skaters, I think that you need to bring everything to the table and not leave anything there. And I think that that's something that he can really ante up on is the facial expression and that full commitment to performance, because like some of the things he does is so dynamic. If you had a skating podcast, what would you name it? Oh my gosh. Oh my. That's such a great question. I wouldn't want it to be too cliche. It's a great question. You know what? Now that you've asked it, I actually can't think of anything. So I think it's definitely my cue not to start one right now. But if you have any ideas, please send them my way. Maybe I'll get inspired.
Yeah, we're interested in throw some our way. Let's hear it.
That's it.
Like this step he does is it's almost dynamic enough that if his facial expression isn't there, it can still work. But he will sandwich it with a lot. Again, skating into triple S, triple toe, and triple axel, I understand these are big jumps, and you need the points from those jumps. But sometimes, especially in men's, like the nonchalant skating comes off as lazy or not caring instead of trying to be very.
2 minutes, 50 seconds.
I think sometimes they're trying to be calm, or like they don't even know what they're giving off because they're going into the jump. But a lot of times it looks sloppy, messy, and like you don't care, and like you're not trying, and to really, especially Tomoki in his jumps will just drop anything that he'll do something that's super dynamic, and then a board to board is like nothing, and then he'll hit like in that run through a really nice triple S, triple toe, and it comes back on, and it'll drop again.
Yeah, it's like the light switch. It's like a light switch on and off versus like I prefer like a Philips Hue dimmer. Like I want those. I want those light switches. Let's turn it down a little bit and turn it back up. Like I want that water to be constantly boiling. Skating next is Liam Kapeikis.
Like a full boil, or are you looking for the word simmer?
Well, no, like you started it as a boil, but if it's like, it's going over right now. Like I need to put my pasta in, it's boiling over the pot. I'm gonna take it off, but then I'm gonna put it back on. Like I don't want to just like completely disengage it. I need to like always kind of be on. I also love this music.
I mean, I don't cook.
That's fair.
A question I have for the men's field in general is, what is the appeal of wearing a hoodie?
What do you mean?
A lot of guys will wear in hoodies, and junior as well, which, of course, they're trying to be super cool, whatever. But skating in a hoodie, I hate it. I mean, I love an oversized hoodie, but I can't skate in them. I find it not, and to try to spin, nightmare. And I also...
They don't really spin.
Maybe that's why. And to show up to this really old fashioned me, and definitely Frank Hero's influence, I think to show up to your only like official practice in the arena. But a lot of people do it, and it's not just from the United States. It's some sort of thing, and I don't. Mostly from a functional standpoint, I don't get it. Do you ever train in hoodies?
No, I never trained in hoodies. I was like very
I couldn't do
business, like strictly business when I go to the rink, and I'd always have like Lululemon ABC pants on, which looked like dress pants. And I hated, you know what I hated? I hated showing my ankles. Like these joggers, personally. You see like bunga pads or joggers sticking out, and I hated that because I didn't like the chunkiness look of a boot. So I used to always have like over the boot, essentially like dance, like a normal dance, and like 3/4 it, and like a puffer vest, like really like finance bro kind of look. Because I wanted to feel like I was going to work when I would train. Because if I was in like a hoodie and sweats, for me I thought it'd be almost a little too like casual, and I needed to like have a little bit of a difference for myself.
A Uniqlo black turtleneck
But yeah, classic.
heat tech is what I wore. That turtleneck up twice.
Like, I don't know why we don't have a Uniqlo sponsorship. Like, Uniqlo, if you're listening, which I probably don't think you are, but if you are, I think US Figure Team would be a great place for you guys to start throwing some shirts for, because, like, honestly, that's all I ever trained in. That was my favorite thing about going to Japan as a younger skater.
Oh, the lack of tags.
Yes.
I really, it's so good.
You're a big fan of that. And and you know, I just think like the seamless look of it. A Uniqlo training top, I mean, it's affordable, and the amount of shirts that I would rip because like Caitlin would jump on me and blade.
Oh, I was gonna be like, doing what?
Yeah, Caitlin would jump on me and like get her blade stuck in her shirt, or like lifts or blades and just like cut shirts and things like that. So I went through quite a handful for sure. 2 handfuls, not just one.
There was a period of my life where I probably ripped. It was when Lulu had changed to the thinner yoga pants because they used to be super thick, and they had, I don't know, I don't like the thinner. I don't know, their new thing I'm not really liking, and I ripped the back seam mid-session on probably 5 or 6 pairs.
Okay.
Over the course, I went through a big hand ripping phase.
It'd be like that. It's kind of me right now.
Yeah, but I skate by myself, right? There's no one else's blade is involved in this.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
And down the back seam in the middle of the session, because then I have to now skate over to the boards.
Yeah. Do backwards puzzles. So here we have Kai doing his free program, it looks like.
I'm just such a big fan of Kai. And watching the training from him is so.
This is my first time this week watching him. I haven't seen him skate before, and there's some really nice qualities to his skating that he can really start to enhance. And I think it's just going to be a matter of like the confidence within himself and developing that.
Yeah, he's 17 or 18.
Okay, so he's good.
He's 17 or 18, or 18. But I know he struggled with. I should actually just fact check that, but he's had some injuries and struggled with that. Like, I don't think he knows how good he is, or let alone could be. Like, I thought his triple axel was easier than triple flip. He did triple axel up until right into training triple axel, and then that was lighter than the others.
I love a good straighter things program too. So we got some more questions in here. Welcome, baby. Thank you for trying to roast me. Jean-Luc, can you name all of the jumps? Yes, I can. It's going to be toe loop, Salchow,
move, flip, Lutz, Axel. Nice. Nice try. What's your favorite theme of program music to skate to or watch? Do you have a favorite, Gracie?
To skate to?
Yeah, it says, what's your favorite? This one's from Sophia.
I love a tango.
Oh!
I love a tango.
Okay. Okay.
I have pretty intense RBF, and a tango really,
Works in your favor.
yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Time on the music.
My favorite type of program to watch. I honestly love like all types of programs if the skater is fully into it.
Sell me on it.
Yeah, exactly. And like the way you're going to sell me on it is by not trying to sell me on it. I'm not going to ask you to like buy a car. I'm like, hey, they're for sale. If you want to buy one, you come find me. And like what happens is then the skater starts to perform more for themselves and then inviting the audience, inviting the spectators into their world. I love that a lot more than like trying to feed a baby that doesn't want to eat, right? There's overperforming that happens in skating quite a bit, in my opinion. And I think that when that happens, it's inauthentic. So I love anybody
That's big.
that's
That's
super
more of a, I
authentic.
think it's like an ice dance problem.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean 100%. That is absolutely an ice dance problem.
The overperform. What?
Wow, that's a lot of pairs of skates.
I don't know if all tens.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. He has such a cool quality to his skating. Like the intricacy of some of his transitions are very challenging, but he makes them look very easy, so it looks easy. So I think that the average eye might be like, oh, that's like not hard.
Who do you think is the most underrated skater of our lifetime? Meaning they didn't get the hype they deserved, and why do you think that is? Oh, that's really hard.
The most obvious one is Jeremy Abbott.
Yeah, like when Jeremy was on.
Jeremy is a two-time Olympian and a four-time national in a lot of ways, but the way that he explains it to all levels is so digestible. It's very hard to explain the concept of edge pressure to a 7-year-old
Yeah.
who's pretty new to skating, and yet, wow. yeah, I thought, oh, hey, that was great. Like, it just wasn't what... I think it was alternate.
For final.
Yeah, so internationally,
He's stacking up.
he goes right under Ilia.
Yeah.
And yet even then people are like, oh, maybe he could do something at Worlds. Yeah, he already did internationally. Like, what? And I think he's putting 2 quads in the free program for this event.
Okay. Only time will tell. Check that out on Sunday, though.
Also, his free, what was I saw the other day? I think he's doing both. I think that was one of the goals that he had for this event.
Well, it's exciting stuff. I'm excited. If you have any questions, send them to Gracie and I at US Figure Skating on X. We're doing our best to answer them. They are actually flooding in right now, so we're trying to get to all of these. Speaking of that, Linda, for both of us, do you prefer training with your top competitors in the same group at the same rink? Do you think there's an advantage or disadvantage to that? Like, do you like training with your top competitors, or would you like, you kind of mentioned a little bit maybe more in silence, or did you like being with your top competitors?
I first started skating in Springfield, Missouri, where there were 4 people in Learn to Skate.
Okay.
That were figure skaters. The rest was hockey. There were 4 of us, and we just were all in the same class because there were 4 of us.
Right.
So then in Springfield, Illinois, even in Chicago, I did not skate at Buffalo Grove, which is one of the larger rinks. So that's where Brady and Jason and like Danny O'Shea, Jessica Cowling was the name, and she was singles and then pairs. A lot of those people that came out of Chicago and that Tomoki, they all skated at Buffalo Grove, which was DePage. It's a big summer event in the U.S. where that is based. We were at smaller rinks, so I have always been the bigger fish in a small pond.
Got it.
In my training environment. So to switch to just training with all of my competitors, I think would be a different feel for me, but also I've only known the other way. I think kind of depending on how you grew up.
Yeah.
So people that started skating at, the World Arena in Colorado Springs, I think they are just used to that energy.
Yeah, it is a different energy. I mean, like, I know for me, I always liked training with my competitors, absolutely, because it was great to see, not a matter of like what they were producing because I wanted to keep an eye on them, but it held myself accountable in a way of, I mean, yes, I always pushed myself, but those days where you're like, oh my God, it's going to be hard to go to the rink today. I'm really tired, or I'm not really feeling it. And you go to the rink and then you see your counterparts doing a really solid training session or a really good run through. You're like, all right, well, I want to beat them, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the thing and then stop talking about it. So yeah, I mean, I think I was always a big fan of training with those competitors, and I know a couple of the skaters out here do train with some of their counterparts, and there is a peacefulness of not training with your competitors too, being able to just train in silence.
But I think there is something to be said about training with people that are a high level. So even in Chicago, as I said, there were a lot of guys. It was one of the... There actually were almost more guys than girls, especially when I was first training at Center Ice. But they were still throwing triples and triple and trying triple axel. It was... They just were not super competitive. A lot of them just skated kind of for funsies, I guess. And yeah, skating with people that are also a high level does go far. If it's just me on the ice, not as interesting.
All right, so we're just wrapping up this second group here, and there's some awesome skating already going out here. I mean, these boys are just keeping this momentum going now. Getting their last little jumping passes in for the day, setting their patterns. The importance of setting a pattern too, I mean, at least in ice dance, is so crucial, and I can imagine for you as well in freestyle, like the importance of knowing like where you really want those lobes to take you to set yourself up for the best trajectory for a jump. So you're not jumping on a wall, you're not jumping too far from a wall.
Where those lobes are going to take you. It's a fun phrase.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Where are those lobes going to take you?
100%. I mean, they're always going to take you somewhere, depending on where you put them.
Yeah, we have a little more wiggle room than you guys. I mean, if we need a pattern corrector or a second crossover, we just take it. But you should know, in general, if I was to even now go into a triple edge triple toe, it's a left, right, straight, and then it's 2 crossovers done very poorly like a hockey skater.
Okay.
Skate on my left foot, mohawk, left over, right crossover, and then line that up.
Okay.
But I know that pattern, I might, especially if the rink is smaller or if it's an Olympic, I might add in a crossover. The lobe will tell me what it needs. And it will send me on its way, but just says that.
The lobe will tell you.
Yeah, the
lobe
lobe.
will take you.
Yeah, I listen to the lobe. The lobes will tell me how many crossovers it needs that day, but you should know where those lobes and those lines are.
Follow the lobe brick road. A little Kansas reference, right?
It's a Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, that's it. There's no place like home, everybody. Oh, I was told I could only do 1 a day, so that's 2. My bad.
Is that the name of our podcast?
Follow the low brick road. So yeah, that'll do it. I'm excited. You see, with 30 seconds left, some people are starting to practice the spins.
Yeah, Camden, Torg, really solid on the session. Kai, we saw really good. Yeah, Tomoki, the triple axles on this group were really good.
This concludes the
I know Samuel had a little struggle technically, but he seemed to work through it, which is what's important.
We're going to resurface the ice now, and then we'll be back.
So
for
that
the
is
Group A
concluding the
practice
second group of the
scheduled
championships
for
men's practice. We will
11:35.
be right back after a brief ice cut, but before that ice cut is finished, we will be doing a quick little brief interview with Jacob Sanchez. He will be up here with us at the Rinkside cam. We'll just catch him right near the end of that ice cut before the third group starts, so make sure you stay tuned.
First rule about Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club.
Is this Sandlot?
I know that one.
Yay for baseball, home run.
No.
Sandlot? No. Sandlot's with a dog.
Rookie of the Year.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
The rookie, I think, maybe? Angels in the outfield? No?
Rookie of the year.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I knew it was Rookie of the Year, but I watched the Rookie a while back, so.
All right, that was great. That was great. What's your reaction to that one?
I don't know.
Tell US figure skating.
I was just like, I'm gonna land it. I don't know if that counts, but.
I liked it. Someday that'll be worth something. That's like a level 3 quad toe with the alternate direction.
But that counts fall.
Yes.
Probably, right?
Because you're supporting yourself. So I still think you're stepping out more than you did the other day.
I like how my left leg is working though.
Yep.
I like how it's going back.
Yeah. Oh, see, that had a good axis. The only other thing I'd say is that right elbow.
A little back.
Yeah. To me, that's how we land jumps. That's the rotational parachute. It's going to slow you down. Okay. All right. The only thing I'm not satisfied with today is I need to see Let's toe.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. To me, just a little aggressive there. So yeah, to me that you do that on sow and you do it on loop. It's a little too aggressive on the bend. Awesome. There you go. Good. Feel it? Yeah, that was a good one. All right, nice job today. Very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was fun.
Miking up.
Miking up. Miking up.
Trophy camp.
Champs camp.
Trophy tent. Champs camp. Champs camp. Okay. Trophy tent. Win camp.
Where are you guys right now?
Champs camp. Oh.
Event. Champs camp. Ah. Love.
World Championship? No. Is it like a skating event? Tent. Evan?
Cup of tents.
Cup of camping.
Trophy camp.
Trophy camp? Champs camp.
Champs camp.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trophy camp.
That should have been the most obvious
Yeah,
one.
that's so bad. Like, where are we now?
Oh my god. There's so many advantages to both.
Do you floss before or after brushing your teeth?
Before.
Would you rather become best friends with your celebrity crush or only go on one date with them?
If they're a celebrity crush, then probably just the date.
Free personal chef for the rest of your life, or you never pay when you go out to eat?
Oh my god. I'd have to say personal chef.
Would you rather be 3 feet tall or 8 feet tall for the rest of your life?
Oh my god. There's so many advantages to both. I'd say 3 feet tall so I can just like sneak around.
Song you can sing every lyric to?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Dark or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Pizza or burrito?
Pizza.
Scrambled or fried eggs?
Neither.
Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Sweet potato casserole.
Go-to post-skate meal or like post-competition meal?
Cookies and ice cream.
Favorite movie?
I just saw Deadpool and Wolverine, so that was a fun one. I was pretty young. I was about 5 years old, and I was not one that dealt well with the summer heat in Texas. So we found something indoors, an ice rink, so I really enjoyed that. I never really got to see snow, so being able to see snow and ice was something that was really cool to a 5-year-old in Texas. And I kind of just took off from there. I had helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, and I was just flying across the ice, and it just stuck.
Please welcome to the ice, Amber Klein.
I'm a little nerdy. I enjoy comic books, anime, cosplaying, a card game called Magic the Gathering. It's a little obscure, but if you know, you know. Just trading and collecting, those kind of things. I have a dog named Uki. I love her so much. She's so cute. Please enter a photo if you can. Love her dearly. And honestly, just spending time with friends and family is huge for me. Obviously, I can't train as much as I did when I was 11, 12, 13. I have to manage my time really well. I have to make sure that I'm taking care of my body and my mind as best as I can. And part of doing it at my age is making sure it's something that I still enjoy, something I get satisfaction out of, and I still do. So just taking care of my body and mind is really important. U.S. Nationals was a whirlwind of emotions. I mean, to go out there and know that it was in my grasp to be the champion was something that I had never really felt before. And after the short program, having such a great time, being in second, being the highest I'd been after a short program before at Nationals was exhilarating. And to land the axel in the free skate, but then have it kind of slip away from me in the second half and lose that focus was devastating. I tried to keep my expectations in check, and when I heard I heard that I had won, I just lost it on national TV, which is a little embarrassing, but it's something that I'll never forget. I'm approaching this season with the mental side being my focus. Of course, I have obvious goals like medaling at both my Grand Prix. This year I'm doing triple axel in both the programs, and just overall trying to stay consistent. As someone that's been skating for almost 20 years, I've had tremendous highs and very low lows, to where I've had to take a step back from skating to prioritize my mental health. But I've also had these highs that are going to be highlights in my life. But I always make sure that I know that I'm more than just my skating, I'm more than just my successes and more than just my failures, that I'm a person who has people that I love and that love me, and to just make sure that that's at my core, and that kind of keeps me in a good direction.
I didn't have any feelings that I wanted to go back for like that entire break. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I went skiing for the first time, and the adrenaline rush that I got from it, it reminded me of skating. I hadn't felt that adrenaline rush since like I last competed, so it had been a while, and I didn't realize I missed it until like I felt it again, and so I was like, oh, maybe like I'll get back on ice and just like try it again just for fun, and that's like how I started to get back into it.
It's hard to find the superlatives to describe what she did in Detroit. 13 years old and the youngest champion ever, Alyssa Liu.
I had time to like grow into myself, like without being in like the public eye and stuff, or like really being influenced by anyone. So I really got to like see who like I was, and like that really helped me like come to terms with like my emotions and like my thoughts and what I wanted for myself. And so I kind of just like took that time to like work on myself and try new things. So the past 2 years, I took like a little break after I like retired, and I just like hung out with my friends and family and just like did a bunch of things that like I didn't really do before. I went on vacation for the first time, and then I'm also in school now, so I've just been like focusing on that. I don't really have any like long-term goals. It's more like in the moment what I'm feeling, and I just want to like keep slowly progressing. I definitely like needed the break, even though initially going into it I was like, this is not a break, like this is like just like what it's gonna be now. But yeah, now that I'm back, it's like I think I'm back because I got that break. So I think it was like needed. People were really supportive and like, you know, like that just like encourages me. And it definitely did play a little bit into my decision to come back. I was very happy. I'm just like excited to get back into skating, and I do like competitions a lot. I'm a pretty competitive person, I'd say, like in general, always have been. I think it's because I grew up with so many siblings. But yeah, just thinking about it makes me very excited.
All right, so we are back. This is Jean-Luc Baker speaking. Gracie Gold is me, and our special guest, Jacob Sanchez. Hey, hey, buddy. Well, great practice out there. How did it feel, the main rink?
It was great. I mean, I'm super excited to be here. This is my first senior U.S. Nationals, and I'm excited to get things going and just getting out here and performing.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, what I saw, I really like so far. I mean, current Junior Grand Prix final champion. Good season so far. What's the difference between junior and senior, like, stepping that up here? Do you feel a big difference, or what are you feeling?
I mean, right now, I mean, I'm kind of just here to kind of, like, focus on myself. I mean, I see myself as still like a junior skater, and I want to progress into the senior ranks, and I want to make like a strong first impression, a strong debut here first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're definitely on the right track to that. Yeah, and then let's talk a little bit more about like that practice itself. You want to talk a little bit about that quad lutz that you were doing out there?
Yeah, so I started working on quad lutz kind of, I wouldn't say super recent, but it was kind of like about a month and a half ago. We did try all the quads
super
already.
recent.
Yeah.
a little bit. But we've tried all the quads except for axle. And
oh, wow.
This is the one that is working the best right now.
Okay.
I most recently was working on flip, but it was kind of iffy, so we kind of tried lutz, and it worked better. So we kind of stuck with that, and I think it's pretty promising that this will be the first one.
Okay.
And after I'm looking at flip and then maybe axle for the future.
So was that like maybe being an ice dancer, or was that just like a little flex, or should we see it in the event?
I will not do it here.
Okay.
But it's definitely something I would try to put in maybe for Junior Worlds or possibly next season.
Awesome. Well, that sounds so good. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to check out who's on the ice next.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so welcome back. We are here for the third and final group of the championship men's practice. This is about to be an exciting one out here. We have all 6 guys now on the ice, including Ilia Malinin, our current world champion. This is going to be a really fun practice. I'm sure we're going to see some really big jumps from across the board with all these boys. And I can imagine we're going to see what I noticed a lot at Skate America with Ilia is that he really, when it comes to his music, he shows a lot of the performance that he's been working on, his performance skills, his PCS, the expression, the skating skills, the choreography, and a lot of the times he ends up marking the majority, if not all, of his jumps in the run through itself. So it's going to be interesting to see the approach that he takes on this practice.
Yeah, well, his components, right, the PCS, that's what he's been really, really working on the last few years. I think people have kind of been harsh on him. I think that when your tech score is that high, and if you do triple axel, and also at just such a young age, I always felt like people were a little bit overcritical of both his attitude and his components. I think when you are, especially when he was younger, when he was like 15, he was 15, you know, do we want him to do 7 quads and skate like a perfect ice dancer and be
was.
There you go.
There's Ilia and everyone else. That's not dark horse.
So who is it then? That's not the question. The question was, who's yours?
No, but I asked. Well, we're just naming anyone. That's why I asked who yours were. Yeah, Samuel. Samuel's a great answer to that question. He's really, really good. He's huge potential. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jacob Sanchez. I think I said that. I don't know if you were solving your transportation issues.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not just a good season, he's undefeated internationally, but as a junior. But that's still extremely impressive.
Yeah.
The Junior Grand Prix final champion.
I also just love, he's like, yeah, I'm just like starting to work on my quads, and quad lats might be the easiest one.
He was flexing on you.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, quad lats is the easiest one so
Then
far.
I'm gonna go flip, and then I'm gonna go loop.
It's like,
Sorry, he was like, then I'm gonna flip, then probably axle. Let's just go right to quad axle.
Why not? I love it. This is a question from Linda. JLB, is it true you have a dog named Linda? And if so, did you name her after me? I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry I did not name her after you. I fostered a dog with my girlfriend, and we foster failed and ended up adopting her, and her name was Linda. We tried some other ones, but you know what? Linda just stuck. So now we have a Doberman named Linda.
That's such a fantastic name, though.
It's amazing. People are like, oh, what's your Doberman's name? I'm like, Linda. It's so amazing. I've always wanted 2 dogs and named them Pico de Gallo. 1 Pico and 1 de Gallo. But that'd be so
2
funny.
minutes, 52 seconds.
But yeah, we got Linda for now.
I was teaching last weekend or sometime recently, and this girl showed me a photo of her cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the fuzzy kind of ragdoll ones.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh my God, what's its name? And she's like, Robert.
I love it.
Very similar energy, but I said, what?
Yeah,
I must,
exactly.
because I must know it's heard. She's like, it's like a bow. And she's like, yeah, this is Robert.
Oh, I love it. Skating next is Joseph.
Klein skates the short program.
I almost jumped the gun on the
followed
announcer
by
there.
Jimmy Ma skating his free skate.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jimmy, Samuel, and Jacob.
Okay, are your dark horses?
Yeah.
But this is kind of an example of where he
Can struggle, and I think it will make all the difference for him. This right opening quad toe, triple toe. And then as we start to get into the second half, some things just kind of start to snowball. So though he found his foot on triple axel, which is more points than an alternative, kind of into the half loop, no combo, with single axle, that's where you can drop in placement so quickly. So even though you open, like big opening, hit those.
Those mistakes just add up quick.
Yeah, I mean if you hit, or yours, yeah, I mean if you hit opening quad toe, triple toe, again, great start, but if there's nothing else there, nothing else is there.
Right.
There's no other points. There's no other money in the bank.
Time on the
It's
music.
going to be exciting,
4
exciting to
minutes,
see what Jimmy
15
does
seconds.
in these programs this weekend. I mean, seeing if he can piece it all together, and like you said, if he does, he can be a force to be reckoned with.
Skating next and performing the short program is Ilia Malinin, followed by Daniel Martynov.
Skating now is
skating
Ilia.
the short program.
I'm ready to see what he does here. I can imagine it's going to be a marked jump program just to really push those performance and skating skills.
pushing him. Were you not online when he was like kind of first came out? I mean, people were ripping him a new one and just over his inability to skate like right then. And I was like, yeah, he's going to work on it and try, but that's something that's also going to come with time. And I just thought that people were unnecessarily harsh, and it's of course because he's so good and so talented. But I just thought, like, let him.
Beautiful.
Let him cook, okay, guys? Let's just like relax. I mean, that was light work for him.
Yeah, I know, triple axel.
Arms overhead. It's not even
so
of interest
easy
to him. Like, that's how good he is. And to try to tell a 17-year-old that doesn't need to get better at something that they think is boring, when they can do things like that, it is a tougher sell to be like, all right, so this is, there's a thing called weight transfer.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, anyway, quad axel, watch me, does it. Yeah, you know what? Sounds more interesting. I just thought that nobody allowed him a little bit of grace to just kind of figure out his journey. It was immediately, oh, you have all your quads? We need the best artistry in the world right now as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jesus, guys.
I back it. Speaking of skating skills, any advice for younger skaters on how to improve their skating skills? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan of using your ankles. I mean, it's super crucial when you are skating, making sure that you feel the pressure of the tongue of your skate pushing into the base of your shin a little bit. I really want to have that knee over toe as well, like really making sure that you're stacked as much as possible. I find that is like one of your fastest way to feel security. And when you're seeing good quality skating on ice, like it's the use of ankles. That's where your skating skill will come from. It's having all three of your joints, your hip, your knee, and your ankle being applied all at once. A lot of the times you'll see skaters skate quad dominantly, which will mean...
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I know, but like biomechanically, that's not correct. It works, but it's like you're wanting to if it ain't broke, but hey, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes, but I'm not gonna drive an F1 car with regular tires. I want to make sure that they're perfectly tuned for what I need them to do, so I can take all the corners that I can to be able to maximize my speed, maximize my flow. So making
what about
sure,
energy management?
100%. Ankle. Your biggest muscle is going to be your glute and your back. So when you're not... You're posterior chain when you skate. So when you access your ankle, you're allowed to activate.
I don't know if I would tell people that you should use your back when you skate.
Not
How
your
is your back?
My back's great, but using your ankles allows you to activate your posterior chain when you're skating. You can activate your glutes. That's going to create your groundedness. So that's going to be the advice that we have.
Isn't it irritating
coming from
when you're
the
trying to
ice
say
dancer.
something and the other person is set on disagreeing with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Give Ilia a break, and JL is right. It's
Yes.
press into where your lasers are tied.
Jean-Luc, why do dancers often come to practice in full hair and makeup and costume, and other disciplines often wear practice wear? That's a great question. You know, a lot of the time, the dancers are trying to make sure that they really set themselves apart from the other teams. Out here, I mean, the judges do know who is who, but in ice dance, a lot of the teams are doing very similar technical content when it comes to levels and whatnot. So when you're allowing yourself to practice and rehearse the performance that you'd like to do in the event, it just kind of gives you the opportunity to not have like a totally new fix and a new feeling when it comes to the event itself, but also allows the judges to kind of get an idea, and your spectators also to appreciate all of the work that you put in. Also, the costumes are pretty expensive, so the more you get to wear them, the better. So I'm not going to lie. Wearing it 5 times a year versus all the practices I get to as well at least makes it feel like it's worth it.
Well, and a lot of your discipline is the performance. I feel like the costume is a huge part of that, and like getting into character maybe sounds like I'm belittling it. It's not. But I feel like that's also what you guys are warming up, as opposed to our warm-ups are like just for technical content, really.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
A huge weight of it is just the technical content, which is practice clothes would suit that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you guys also have to warm up your performance.
So much. I do. Yeah. I mean, that's so much of what ice dance is. It's like the whole package.
And you guys have a flair for the dramatic as well.
It's true. I told everyone earlier this week, ice dance is the peacocks of the zoo. There it is. Every arena has a different format to make their ice. Did you ever have a problem at a major competition where the ice was too soft or too hard from what you're used to? Did it make a big difference for you? Great question.
In an arena, I always really like arena ice for some reason. I also really like ice that feels hollow.
Okay.
You know, some of those pop-up rinks. Were you in Omaha Nationals?
Yes.
You know the practice rink?
Yes. It was actually really nice there.
It was hollow.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just pop. Yeah, that was one. That actually is probably my favorite rink I've ever skated on, which is so random.
Okay.
But the practice rink specifically, that
in that
ice,
convention center, like connected to the hotel, is it? Am I thinking
yeah,
of a
no,
different
you
place?
walk out of the hallway, and then all of a sudden there's this ice rink put on the cement, and then you walk into the arena, and I loved that. I really like arena ice.
Okay. Ilia doing Ilia things. Love it. Yeah, I always loved the ice in Japan too. I always thought that was so nice. Also, I love the Zambonis in Japan. It's so different. They have like 4 little tractor Zambonis ripping on the ice at once.
Yes.
The John Deere ones.
It's phenomenal. And the first time you see them is just...
You're like, what's going on here? Why is there 4 mini Zambonis? And it's so precise.
It
It's
still
an
makes
art.
me... I'm even sitting here, it makes me smile just thinking of it, because that's exactly what went through my head.
Yes.
I really like ice in Japan too. Sometimes on the first day, it's a little thin, because I tap cement a lot in Japan.
Yeah. I find that ice in Japan...
Does that happen to you as well?
What?
Tapping cement?
No, you know, I like did a really deep edge and I'd get to it, but not so much tapping. Never would I do that, actually. Never did I do an outside rocker and tap it. We got a serious problem if I'm tapping cement on a rocker.
That's how I used to do my flip.
There it is. The spring is great off cement. Well, we're just finishing up this last group of men's here. If you guys have any last-minute questions you'd like to ask, this will be the last time that I am doing Rinkside commentary on Peacock this weekend. Then it is my time to watch and enjoy these skaters do their thing. So if you guys have any last-minute things you'd like to ask Gracie or myself, please ask at US Figure Skating on X. We're going to do our best to do that as soon as possible before this thing wraps up.
Competitors, there is 1 minute remaining in the practice session. If we've mispronounced your name, please let the announcer know so we can correct it.
You see Ilia is drilling his last little bit while he can on this main rink. They have another practice later today, and I believe it's on the practice rink.
Yeah, they think this is their one and only on the arena.
Maybe they'll have their 20-minute on this, the day of the event. Yep, they'll have just their 20-minute warm-up on the main arena in the morning, but no music on those. So this will be their last time that their only time and their last time that they are able to skate on this arena with music.
One and only.
Yeah, making sure that they can take their time with this practice, I think is super crucial. Just having a 20-minute warm-up. What did you? That 20-minute warm-up before skating too was always so weird, because internationally you get that 30 minutes or 35 depending with music, and then you come here and it's just 20 minutes with no music. It was always such a different experience for me.
The only pro of it was that it was closer to the time that you skated. Sometimes our practices were in the morning, and especially when the women used to be there this year as well, late. There was at least something that was at 4, and it was really hard to find random ice, on a Saturday at 4 p.m. So I sometimes like the 20-minute. It is a little bit random. It's very unique to what we do here. But
Yeah, it's a different experience.
Do you want me to mention Ilia's interview? Do you want me to mention Ilia's
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for following along this week for the Practice Ice commentary with me and all my special guests, Jackie Wong, we have Gracie Gold, amongst many other people. I mean, you guys are the special guests at this point, sending in all those questions. Thank you for the times that I didn't have a guest. You guys sent me those questions. We had a good time. I hope you learned a couple different things here and there and had some fun while you watched some figure skating. So thank you again tuning in, and we will be doing an interview with Ilia later today, which will be posted online. So watch out for that, and stay tuned throughout the day and watch some events. Thank you very much.